So I was listening to a podcast on the way here this morning, and the gentleman was talking about like social, like anxiety and like getting really nervous to go in front of crowds and not like into crowded places. And I'll be honest with you, into my, I want to say, man, even my, like mid 20s, and every once in a while I catch myself with that, but I used to struggle so bad with going in, and I could be 20 years old and going in, and somebody could be in the restaurant waiting for me. I would hate to fucking walk into like an Applebee's and I got somebody waiting for me and I just have to go to their table, or they'll tell me, hey, we're at the bar. I would get so fucking uncomfortable, just like walking into the restaurant. I'd be like, yeah, I would want the person to like, can you come outside and just fucking meet me? I don't want to go, I don't, like the anxiety that I had from that and social situations, until I started going up on stage doing stand-up, and I used to literally like feel like I had to shit my pants before I went on stage. And then I started getting a nervous energy, which was good, but the only thing that I could think of, I guess alcohol, but even being high on pills didn't really fucking help the social anxiety. After therapy and stuff and talking about it with a therapist, I really just, I hate even really sounding like fucking like a nerd like this, but like just like the like post-traumatic, I guess, stress disorder that I have acquired from my dad's. Like my dad used to I remember one time I was thinking about this. My dad was screaming at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night about he couldn't find his mustache scissors. And I was like in first grade. My mom had to come upstairs, get me out of bed, and go knock on the neighbor's door because I had borrowed his scissors as a fucking first grader to, cut up like construction paper or something, just being a fucking kid. And I never looked forward to, as a child, my dad coming home, you know what I mean, at all, when I was a kid. Because I never knew who he was going to be, you know what I mean? Like, I never knew who he was going to be as, like, I just didn't know, like, if he was going to be fucking crazy, or we had to walk on fucking eggshells around him. My mom used to keep a bag of clothes in the back of the closet in case we ever had to leave. And this is where I start thinking some of this shit came into play, was she would take us and we would just fucking like go into like literally like the witness protection program almost, you know what I mean? And disappear and get us out of the fucking house. And rightfully so, but it just freaked me the fuck out so bad, like having to have that feeling of not knowing where, not having that, like, that safety thing around you, you know what I mean? I really feel like it's led me to being a more, over time, a more nurturing person, maybe with, like, animals, and a tad bit more compassionate with people. But that's this big motherfucking hawk up there. Damn, he just flew up in my, it really freaked me the fuck out for years, until I got older. And I just remember, there's a squirrel over there. Until I got older, and, I'm not saying, like, I don't like using the word, like, oh, I suffered from, his emotional whatever the fuck, but it definitely, that hawk's looking to eat something. It definitely made me fucking have anxiety and be fucking socially retarded, and it fucked with my self-esteem for years, and I really didn't get over it until I faced it head on and started getting up on stage and talking to people and even doing shit like this. I mean, the biggest thing about this is it's like therapy for me, you know? Like, I tell people, get into like therapy, you know, if you can, you know, find a self-help group, group therapy meetings, go on Google. I'm telling you, therapy is the best thing I ever. That's one thing that if they called me about getting my medical insurance, I'm not going to take it. But if I had like to pay $20 a visit for like counseling or a copay or whatever, I would go once a week or twice a week if I could, because I just feel, man, I'm just telling you, counseling was probably the most, if not one of the most significant things. But talking to somebody and telling them everything and being able to have somebody give you some direction, it fucking helped me so much. And that's what I tell people with addiction. You're not going to get sober without God, and you're not going to get sober without talking about this. So send all your money to our Patreon, where we have 0 videos.